Let me ask you something. You ever walk into a room, see a guy, and within 2 seconds you've already decided if he's dominant or not, before he opens his mouth, before he does anything? Now flip it. When a woman sees you, she's doing the exact same thing, except her brain is running a biological scan you didn't even know was happening. What is she actually reading? Testosterone markers. Specifically, the effects of testosterone on your face, your voice, your frame, and it starts way earlier than you think. Here's what the science actually found. A study by Neave and colleagues in 2003 investigated what drives a man's perceived dominance and masculinity. The answer wasn't what most people assume. It's not your current testosterone. It's the testosterone you were exposed to before you were born, in the womb. That prenatal hormonal environment sculpted your facial features. And here's the kicker. A man's circulating testosterone right now doesn't influence how dominant or masculine he's perceived. The womb already decided that. Scientists measure prenatal testosterone exposure using something called the 2D/4D ratio. It's the ratio between your index finger and your ring finger. Lower ratio, more prenatal testosterone. Men with lower 2D/4D ratios were rated significantly more dominant and masculine looking by observers. That's a biological fingerprint from before birth, showing up decades later in how strangers perceive you. This is the distinction most people miss. Perceived dominance is not the same as perceived attractiveness. The study found these are two completely separate dimensions. So the guy with a strong jaw and heavy brow might read as dominant, but that doesn't mean women find him more attractive. Those two things get confused constantly, especially online. But science separates them clearly. Now let's talk about the myth. Most guys, and most of the internet, assume that women universally prefer more masculine, high testosterone-looking men, the alpha male ideal. Way more complicated than people think. A 2014 study by Scott and colleagues published in Pesation Basquenchen references across different populations around the world. What they found blew up the universal preference assumption. Preferences for highly masculine faces are not universal. They're primarily found in modern, developed, urbanized environments. In traditional, non-industrialized societies, the preference basically disappears. What that tells you is this: the ideal masculine face is an ancient biology. It's a modern cultural artifact. The skyscrapers shaped the preference, not the caves. There's more. In those same developed societies where masculine faces are preferred, those faces are also strongly associated with aggression. So the preference comes with a cost perception. She's doing a quick risk-reward calculation in her head. Does this face signal strength and genetic quality, or does it signal threat and low parental investment? Often it signals both simultaneously. Now here's where it gets really interesting. A study by Little and colleagues in 2001 showed that a woman's preferences for masculine features aren't fixed. They shift based on her own self-perceived attractiveness. Women who rated themselves as more attractive had a stronger preference for masculine male faces. Their internal self-assessment was shaping what they found appealing in the man. Think about what that means. She's not just evaluating you, she's filtering through a lens shaped by her own mate value assessment. Her mirror is calibrating your appeal. A woman who feels highly attractive is more willing to take the risk of a dominant-faced man because she believes she can handle it. She sees herself as a match for that level. The fourth study, Penton-Voak and colleagues, 2003, went even deeper. They asked, does a woman's own physical condition reshape what face she wants for a long-term partner? Women with objective biological markers of lower physical condition tended to prefer less masculine male faces, particularly when evaluating a long-term partner, not because they were settling, because it was strategic. A less masculine face signals, in evolutionary terms, more cooperative, more likely to invest, less likely to abandon. For a long-term partner, those traits might matter more than raw dominance signals. So here's the picture from all four studies. Her preference for testosterone markers in your face is not fixed. It shifts based on her condition, her self-perception, and whether she's evaluating you for tonight or for 10 years. Now the question every guy watching this actually wants answered: what can you control? Because most of what we've talked about, prenatal T, digit ratio, facial bone structure, you can't change any of that. But remember this: perceived dominance and attractiveness are separate dimensions. The science is clear on that. Your bone structure affects perceived dominance. Your presence, posture, eye contact, vocal delivery, Those affect perceived attractiveness. Posture. The way you carry your body communicates status instantly. A collapsed posture signals submission. An open, grounded stance signals exactly the opposite. And unlike your bone structure, this is something you adjust right now. Vocal pitch. Research consistently links lower vocal pitch with perceived dominance and attractiveness in men. Not because it's manufactured, because men with stronger hormonal profiles in development often have lower voices. But you can optimize yours with breath support and diaphragm engagement. Eye contact. Sustained, calm eye contact is a dominant signal across primates. Not aggressive staring, grounded presence. It communicates you're not threatened. You're fully there. And women read that immediately. Here's the synthesis. You can't change your prenatal biology, but you are not your digit ratio. The science shows attractiveness is a separate dimension from dominance, and attractiveness is far more within your control. And remember what the research told you about her. Her preference is not fixed. It's not universal. Her biology, her self-perception, her context, all shifting the criteria in real time. There is no single face that wins every room. What wins? Consistency, groundedness. A man who isn't chasing the validation of a biological trait he can't control, but instead is fully present, physically calibrated, and comfortable in his own frame. The testosterone effect is real, but it's not your ceiling. It's the floor your presence builds on, and the floor is set, what you do above it. That's entirely up to you. If this reframed how you think about attraction, biology, you know what to do. And if you want the specific behavioral blueprint that builds magnetic presence beyond genetics, that video is next.